Chris and Jackie. So, if we have a hurricane on our hands, and if you're holding a ticket in your hands to a cruise in the Caribbean, what do you do here?
You'd be going, this is such a smart idea.
Ooh.
Well, maybe not. A cruise is a very appealing type of vacation, I think, because you put down one chunk of money and everything's taken care of and you don't have to worry about it. But we want to talk to marine meteorologist and cruise expert James Van Fleet to get some answers. James, thanks for being here. We've got newly formed Bret, and that might make a few people nervous. What can we do out of the gate as we plan a cruise type of vacation to help prevent any hiccups, so to speak?
Well, yeah, Jackie and Chris, thank you for having me on. And of course, perfect timing. As of 40 minutes ago, we have Bret officially named. Still some other invests that we're keeping an eye on. Here's the thing, and one of the reasons why I am recommending cruise vacations over, say, island vacations, if you book that this summer over the next 3 months to hit the islands, you go to a resort, you're going to get the weather you get. Whereas with a cruise, the ships can move. So while they're assessing, of course, the same things we are here, that you are as well up in Atlanta, the thing that I would encourage you for to stay with a cruise vacation, say over going to a resort, is the fact that if they see something heading towards a port of destination or call that you're headed to, they can move. Now, that will also mean that likely your plans are changing as now you're going to a different port. But the idea is that safety-wise, they can get you further away than if you had a vacation booked somewhere, again, one of those all-inclusive resorts. So with El Nino, as you know, we're in it. You've been tracking it as well. We are anticipating that the second half of the summer, with all that wind shear, there should be fewer hurricanes. So it is also likely a little bit better summer to head to the Caribbean. However, I would be watching those LA and San Diego departure ports if you're running down Baja California, as we do anticipate the second half of the summer, as you know, to be much busier with the Pacific.
And James, you make a great point that the cruises, by design and definition, they're on boats and they can move, they can avoid the storms. But you also mentioned your plans. The itinerary may change. How flexible are ports really, and do they have enough options to accommodate?
Great question. And this in the Caribbean and the Eastern and the Southern, it's a lot easier to flip ports because another island is within reach. And keep in mind, of course, you're cruising, so it's not like an airplane where you just divert and you're flying at 400 or 500 miles an hour. It still takes a little bit of time because you're cruising at 20 knots and going slow. But I do like Central and Eastern Caribbean ports because there's so many more islands to pick from that you can actually make. The Western Caribbean's a little trickier because the actual ports that you can make, the Cozumels, the Costa Mayas, down to Belize, there's a lot greater distance to travel. So if you had to miss a port in those itineraries, there's a chance that those are just sea days and not ports. But that's okay. Again, another reason why I like ships, if you are held to a sea day or if there is weather in your port of call, you have a beautiful ship to enjoy. You can go to the restaurants, the shows, the spa. There's so many options, and remember, you only unpack one time. So you get all these great destinations, but you've only unpacked your suitcase one time, which a lot of families love, especially a lot of kids.
James, you're a good sell. We've got about a good minute left here. I want to ask you, outside of the obvious, like tropics, there are a lot of marine hazards, actually. We think about things like rogue waves. What else concerns you besides tropical cyclones?
So cyclones are always where I'm the most interested, of course, but the winter fronts always catch my attention, leaving out of the New York harbors, Boston, and areas where you can get what we call the north wall, which is when there's a strong cold front in the winter months, hitting that Gulf Stream, that very sharp temperature gradient can actually build up some rogue waves and massive seas. So while it is still a wonderful vacation, I'm a little more leery of leaving in the higher latitudes in, say, January and February. Maybe keep that more to the summer months where you are likely to have better weather sailing out of there.
All right, James Van Fleet, thank you so much for your perspective. Great chatting with you. Jack and I have to go start looking for cruises.
I know, I'm thinking Alaska cruise. I want to do a river cruise in Europe, maybe.
A lot of stuff.
Lots of choices.